Hello and welcome to Juggling Hats and Homes, the podcast aimed for letting agents, estate agents, and a bit of juggling parenthood thrown in, hence the juggling hats. My name is 𝘼𝙧𝙪𝙚𝙪, otherwise known as Harry. I'm Lettings Director for Andrews and President-elect of ARLA Propertymark, and this is...
I am 𝘼𝙧𝙪𝙚 and I am the Regional Sales Director at Andrews Property Group.
So this is our podcast, and this is our first one actually, so woo!
Exciting!
So if we're a bit rusty, please don't tell us. Okay, so first question, we're going to talk about estate agency and what's been happening. So Alex, tell us what's been happening at estate agency over the last few weeks, month or so.
So we're about 3 weeks into January now, and what a roller coaster already. So the first week, there were definitely rate wars going on, which was amazing and just what the industry needed, having had rates, peak at like 6%. So it's really welcome. So that's amazing news. And then literally now we've had lots of talk around 99% mortgages.
Yeah.
So there's lots of pros and cons to this. It's been lots of debate, but the good thing is that there's a lot of noise around the property industry and just what we need. So it'd be interesting to see what happens as a result of that, which way they go, what happens in the spring budget as well. But it does feel like there's a good appetite in the market and there's a lot of noise, but it feels a bit more positive than it has been in 2023. So hopefully exciting times ahead.
Okay, and what are your thoughts on 99% mortgages? What do you think?
I can see exactly the arguments. I've been reading a lot in terms of people's perspectives on it, and I actually really agree with most of them because everybody's been really balanced, saying yes, it will be able to, again, get the market moving again, which would be amazing. But then obviously there's the danger of overinflating house prices because of the demand and everything as well.
Yeah.
And people are just talking about being able to build enough properties to be able to service the demand anyway. So I'm a bit torn. I'm very much of the idea that we need something to inject within the market to get it going again. So this seems to be therefore of what the solution is. But again, I think that it could be quite dangerous, but it could also really G up the market. So
yeah,
I'm kind of on the fence.
Okay, I think it definitely gives first-time buyers a bit more support to get
definitely.
that first step on the ladder, which at the moment with rates being so high, it's very difficult. I mean, we are seeing some mortgage rates with a 3 in the
I know,
which is exciting.
The lowest in 6 months is where they are now. And like you said, Harry, it is a case of that it would give first-time buyers an opportunity, whereas that has been absolutely shot over the past few years.
Yeah, I think from my perspective, the fact that mortgage rates have held, the base rate held again, and that we are seeing 3% mortgages coming back slowly, I think that's a really good thing for landlords, because we've seen over the last 3 years a mass exodus of landlords from our industry for various reasons, and demand has still remained really strong, and we need something to incentivise landlords to stay or to buy more so that we can provide homes for tenants. So for me, I think that we're through the worst of it, and I'm really looking forward to 2024 and how that will pan out, really. So good news all round.
Really good news. So what about on the letting side then, Harry? What's it been like coming into 2024 from your perspective?
I mean, the end of 2023, so December, was quite quiet. And I mean, we always experience that within lettings, and I know you're doing sales as well. People don't want to move in December. It's very difficult to motivate them. So December was quiet. We've come into it, January, it seems much busier, which is really good. The teams are all fired up and things are looking really positive. One of the things we are experiencing a lot though is what I call wishy-washy tenants, which are... We're having tenants not turning up for viewings. So one of my negotiators booked a block of 6 viewings and only one of those tenants turned up, even though they'd all been confirmed. We're seeing tenants saying they want to offer on properties and then that offer is not forthcoming. So we're just seeing a lot of sort of tenants who aren't really that motivated at the moment, and I don't know if it's time of year, but yeah, that's one of the things we're struggling with at the moment is wishy-washy tenants. We need confirmed tenants who know they want to move and they want to move quickly, really. So that's our main challenge within lettings. In terms of like the wider UK and what's going on with legislation, we're still no further with rental reform, which is a bit frustrating, but a lot of mine and my friends in the industry's sort of thoughts and time is taken at the moment with the changes to material information. So National Trade and Standards team announced that towards the end of last year, and although we do have a year sort of lead time to get ready for it, there's a lot of planning that's going to have to go into that, because it's a big change for letting agents and estate agents. And at Andrews we have pulled together a project team, haven't we? So that's quite good to figure out what we're going to do, what technology solutions we can use if possible, what sort of changes to processes and policies we need to bring in, what training we need to bring in. But it's really great that we started this project team now, so that we can get it rolling and be really ready for it by the end of the year. So
good stuff.
Yeah, so there's a bit of a rundown on lettings and estate agency. One of the other sort of features of this podcast is we're going to talk about some of our struggles of being working parents. So I've got a little boy, Teddy, he's 4. Alex, you've got a little girl.
Yeah, my girl is 5 years old and she's called Wilson.
So what we're going to do is just share some of our sort of struggles or challenges or funny stories we have of being working parents, and just ask for, I don't know, advice on how we get ready for sometimes, if anyone's got any, or if you have similar stories, please share them with us in the comments to this podcast. For me, so I just went on holiday without my husband and child.
Winning!
It was very strange. I've never done that. And I was with my mum and my sister, and I had intense mum guilt about the fact that I'd left my husband for a week with my little one, which is ridiculous because he wasn't bothered by it at all, and he was actually really supportive and was like, come on, you deserve it, you work really hard, go and have a break. But inside I was like turmoil of mum guilt, like, oh, how do I do this? And actually, and I don't know if anyone who listens to this has got similar stories, but my preschool actually made it worse. So then, when I was away, having a lovely time, got a message on our family app saying, Teddy has got a sore tummy today, he's complaining of a sore tummy, and yeah, we're just monitoring it, we hope he's going to be okay, but we are aware that mum's not around at the moment, so we don't know if the anxiety is causing a bad time.
You don't need that.
I know!
You do not need that when you're away.
No,
bless Teddy.
No, bless Teddy.
Bless you.
He missed his mummy.
Delete that app when you're off next time. Note to self.
I know, I need to. So yeah, so just the mum guilt, I think, is always a struggle. So any tips from anyone would be really helpful, or any similar stories, so that I know I'm not alone.
I love it. We're so aligned because I had like a similar experience. So it was Simon's 50th birthday. I thought, okay, we need to do something for him rather than obviously include Wills. So it was the first time that I'd left her for a certain amount of time as well. And anybody that's got children and that have watched Frozen, they know that scene where the mum and dad go away on the boat and they don't come back. Yeah. So I was there getting her dress and talking about us going away, and she said, oh, it's just like when Elsa's mum and dad go away on the boat, but you don't die. I was just like, wow. It's amazing what goes around in children's heads.
Yeah, I know, wow.
I know.
But you like,
very morbid.
We are going somewhere cold, but no boats involved.
Yeah, no boats involved, and we will be coming out of this alive and coming back to you. And then even like yesterday, so we had 3 kids' parties back to back on the weekend, and it was just manic. Especially because you have to attend, you have to be there, you can't just drop off and leave. Although I did on one of them because it was a smaller party, luckily. And then she'd obviously been overwhelmed, and I think she was so tired. So going into school yesterday, I dropped her off, and then she just started to cry, and she doesn't usually cry going to school. I thought, oh, instantly she's like, why can't you collect me at 3 o'clock? I was like, oh my gosh, it's like, because I have to work, because she goes to the after school provisions. But just her little face and the tears and the sadness, I was like, oh my gosh, it doesn't ever get easier, because she's 5 now, and that was literally just yesterday. And I was like, oh my gosh, manipulation.
They know how to press those buttons.
They really know.
Teddy said, when I got back, he said, when you were away, mummy, my heart was sad.
Oh my gosh! Oh my god. They're incredible, aren't they?
They are. They know how to push those buttons. But yeah, so there's some fun.
You were missed.
At least I was missed. Yeah, I thought he wouldn't even notice I was gone, to be honest. But yeah, I think if there's any other working women or dads listening to this who have some tips on how to overcome this, then get in touch. We will keep sharing these stories and any tips we have. For me, it's just about remembering that you are providing a wonderful life for your child, and you're doing everything to be a positive role model, so that when they grow up, they will, they'll see it important that they also have a career and that they earn a living. And I think that's what you have to keep remembering when those tough times happen, and you just wish that you could not do that.
I think that's the thing, isn't it? It's such an ongoing debate, and you see it whenever people are on podcasts or there's conversations, they talk about the work-life balance and mum life. And I genuinely don't think there is an answer. You just have to be able to like embrace it. But like you said, Harry, to really just work through it and know why you're doing it, so that you are a role model. They do see that you're obviously out working, you've got a career, and the sky's the limit for them as well.
Yeah.
But it's still like painful. Like literally just yesterday, I was like, I got into the car trying to compose myself and go, ah! And then literally, you know, you can be a bit hormonal sometimes, depending. And I was just like, it can be absolutely right, but you just have to like realign and center yourself, thinking, like you said, the reason why you're doing it, to better them, to better your family, to better yourself as well. But it's bloody hard.
It is.
Really
really
is.
hard. I think one of the things I try and remember is that so my mum was a doctor, worked really hard. So for me to have a career was never like a weird thing. And what I'm hoping to instill into Teddy is that, as a working parent who's quite senior in her career, that it's just normal for him, so that as he progresses, it won't be weird for him to have senior women around him. It'll just be normal. So I think that's what I'm trying to instill in him.
Love that.
Yeah.
Love it.
So yeah, okay. Well, I hope you found it informative. Drop us a comment if you've got any questions, or if you'd like us to talk about something on the next podcast. We're up for suggestions or problems that you'd like us to debate. And yeah, thanks very much for listening.
Bye.
Bye.